Hey friends, today on Gardening with Creekside, we are going to give you an update on how all of these gorgeous babes are growing here down at the Retail Garden Center. If you are new or maybe you just missed the videos, we are Creekside Nursery in Dallas, North Carolina. We are a grower retailer. So what does that mean? It means that we grow our own plants and then we sell them directly to our customers who come to visit us. This is the first round of annuals that we have growing. We got delivery of these maybe 3 weeks ago. And so they have been potted up and are growing and very happy. So we're going to kind of give you an update on this because we have some that are starting to put some little flower buds on. Very exciting. And then we're going to head out to the trial gardens because we have some fun news to share out there. We're going to be under construction later on this year. So we want to share that project with you as well. But just to recap, we are in the retail. This is our retail greenhouse. Yes, we use it as a growing facility, but this is down where customers shop. So when we open on February the 18th, our customers are more than welcome. In fact, they're encouraged to come in here and take a look and check on and see how these little sweet annuals are doing. All the production that we've been doing is in a whole different production area that is not open to the public, but this very much is. Go through some of them. We're not going to go through every single one of these plants because there's a lot of them. Some fun things maybe that we have not talked about here recently, or things that I think you would find really interesting to have in your garden. One of my favorite components in my annual, whether it's a flower bed or it's a hanging basket or it's a container, are the proven accents. So these are going to be plants that do not flower, right? It is an accent plant. It helps those flowers shine. Well, this is Dichondra Silver Falls, and it is a beautiful silvery green foliage plant that, one, has a really silky texture to it, so it's very fun to touch. But just as its name suggests, Silver Falls, it trails, and it's gorgeous. So it doesn't get really tall. Like on the tag, it says 2 to 6 inches tall. 6 inches, from my experience, is stretching it, but it really, really trails. So if you have like a window box or a container that you want that spiller, then this is an excellent plant to have for sure. We have seen many different hanging baskets using Dichondra Silver Falls. Maybe they use like 3 or 4 of them on the corners of the hanging basket, and they spill over and come down. They call them like the jellyfish hanging baskets. It's really fun. So the Dichondra Silver Falls is doing well. The osteospermums, these, we have multiple different colors in this. These are going to be some of our absolute earliest colors in the greenhouse. So as Jerry will show you, this is really fun. So it's the Bright Lights series. Bright Lights Pink is a very nice, soft pink. Last year, I did a container with the Bright Lights Pink and the Bright Lights Purple. It was kind of an ombre effect in a container. I just put equal number of these two and alternated them. It was gorgeous. Very simple, but massive impact and just beautiful. Some of our most popular ones are the Double Moon Glow because it is a very soft, buttery yellow that has a different bloom than the other Bright Lights series. So if you're looking for a nice soft yellow, and these are going to be full to part sun plants, anywhere from 8 to 12 inches tall. Brand new this year is the Bright Lights Horizon Sunset. We grew this in multiple areas last year at trialing it, and it is gorgeous. Those colors are just stunning. And if I'm not mistaken, this is a little bit more heat tolerant. The osteos, sometimes it will tend to be like a really nice cool weather plant, and then when the heat of the summer hits, they kind of check out and they stop blooming. But the Horizon Sunset, I believe, is a little bit more heat tolerant. Now, talking about also fun new plants coming out this year is the Supertunia Mini Vistas. We have 3 new colors. This is yellow. So yellow is growing here and is a really great option if you're looking for a petunia that is a little bit more small and not quite as vigorous as the vistas. But look how beautiful that is. I know it's just green foliage, but if you have this beautiful green foliage and you see all this new growth popping up, it means that this is a very happy plant and it will be blooming before we know it. So we have the mini vista yellow, and we also have over here there's 3 new colors this year. Then this is mini vista midnight. So it's a little windy out there. Oh, hi, sorry. So mini vista midnight, which is a very deep purple. Really nice. Kind of think of royal velvet, but a little bit of a smaller bloom and a little less vigor. You may hear, but Brenna is outside. We left her outside. It's a very cool day here in North Carolina. I am not saying it's cold because we watched the news last night and we saw what Maine was going to be, like wind chills of -60. So I'm not saying it's cold. I'm saying it's cool. But my German Shepherd dog absolutely loves it. So she's a little frisky this morning. So we left her outside, and so she's currently peering through the glass door looking at me. But a lot of people have asked when they're coming to shop, do you have bubble gum? Oh my gosh, of course we have Super Tunia Vista bubble gum. We always will have that. And then of course the Super Tunia Vista Jazzberry. The whole Vista series, if you're looking for a nice, vigorous, flowering petunia that just gives you great color, then those Vista series are definitely it for you. We have Silverberry right here next door, which is a white with a pink veining. But maybe you're like me in certain areas where you don't need that massive vigor, right? Like for me on my patio. So I'm going to be using a lot of the Super Tunia Mini Vista White. It has the same kind of flower color as, say, Snowdrift, but not nearly that massive vigor. And it comes in all different colors. Indigo, Mini Vista Indigo, we're going to have great plans for that one as well. But this whole section basically is all petunias and super bells. So here you can see that we have the super bells yellow, and it is a very nice, happy plant and blooming. So it's our only petunia. Excuse me, it is not a petunia. Super bell. We have some that are blooming, but not anything like the super bells yellow. And if you'll remember, they improved this yellow this year, so it has a bigger, more vigorous root system, which clearly makes it a very happy plant. So we do have the honeyberry. We've got some honeyberry blooms coming in here. Jerry can show you those. But the great thing about your super bells and your super tunias is that they are a little bit more cold tolerant. So they can handle temperatures down into the low 30s. Not that I'm saying you need to put these out right now. That is not what I'm saying. But when it comes to, late March or early April, where we could still get, a little bit of a frost, they can handle it. And so they do really well. We've also got Coral Sun, which is a really nice orange and yellow. So it is starting to bloom some as well. So it's so much fun to come into the greenhouse and check on these sweet little babies and see how they are doing from season to season. And as a grower, we have to kind of plan, we have to plan our crops. So we bring plants in that we're growing at different times. That way we have a succession of plants for when they are ready. We can't just order all of the Super Tunia bubble gum at one time. If we did, then by the end, some of them would be a little crazy. So we order the same plant multiple times throughout the growing season. That way it's always fresh and ready to go for some sweet folks. Then over here, we have got, look at this, the new Nemesia. This is Aromat's Mulberry, and it has got a bloom on it. A really nice, kind of a rich purple with a little bit of burgundy in there. A little yellow throat on it, nice. And then the Bidens, the Goldilocks Rocks, we're starting to get some little buds. I do adore this plant because when the flowers open up, the petals are very full and kind of ruffly and thick, and they're just a gorgeous yellow. But the whole Bidens, if you've never done Bidens, they are wonderful. They have a nice sweet fragrance to them. and they are a massive pollinator attractor, especially this campfire flame. Now, I know if you look at campfire flame compared to Goldilocks rocks, you're like, oh my gosh, it's like taking forever. It is. It's taken a little while to grow, but when this blooms, the pollinators are all over it in the greenhouse, because of course with the greenhouse the sides roll up and close with the temperature, so they come in here, and this will be covered not only in honeybees but other like beneficial wasps that are small. So all sorts of beautiful pollinators love these plants. Some more great accents are like the silver bullet artemisia, which will actually be a perennial for us, beautiful. The pink chablis, lamian. So can you tell that there's a, Jenny does love the proven accents that have those kind of those silver undertones to it, with this pink chablis, lamian, the silver bullet, the silver falls, all sorts of beautiful, because when you have this cool color next to some really great color with the flowers, it does well. Lemon coral is a longtime staple, fantastic plant, easy peasy. And then ageratums, grew these last year, really fun. There's the blue, there's the white. Again, these are not the typical ageratums that you think of as, you know, before. Nice, healthy plants. Look at that. So you can see that depending on what type of plant, they will have different growth habits, right? So some of them, like the ageratums, are doing great. That campfire flame, it's a little slower. It's just, you know, it is what it is with the plants. So that kind of wraps up what's happening here as far as like all the fresh new color. So we're going to head out to the trial garden and give you a little update on a project that we have in the works for that space. All right, so here we are down at the shrub lot entrance kind of to the nursery. So if you remember this, I guess late fall, early winter, we really reworked this whole area. Like we completely tore it up. Jerry removed all the gravel. We moved all the shrubs off of this. We installed new drainage, new irrigation, all of that to just kind of, there were some problems that we needed to fix right within the area, because we will have and have had, of course, this is just covered in shrubs. So you have to keep the shrubs nice and happy. So we had to fix some things. We have extended the shrub lot out closer to us. These two containers right here kind of are going to signify the entrance into the shrub lot. We have these shrubs here. This is from one of our most recent deliveries, and we've just kind of kept them in a block in case we need to cover them. It makes it easier. But what is so exciting is over here, if you have been to Creekside, or if you have watched a good number of our videos, especially like in, you know, the last year or so, you know that on the other side of the pergola, we have multiple kind of trial beds, display beds, whatever you want to call it, where folks send us plants and we will plant them in our landscape here in North Carolina, Zone 7B. They are not on irrigation, so we can test and see how well they do. Well, we have always, so Jerry and I grew up out here, right? So this is my family land. Jerry and I have lived out here for 19 years, and as soon as we started even talking about having a nursery and having Creekside down here, it has always been our dream to have basically like a botanical garden, open gardens, all throughout this whole back property. The creek does run the whole length of our property. It kind of cuts our property in half. So where you see these massive tulip poplars, the creek is just right there. So we have a beautiful creek that runs through here. Then we have a pond just on the other side that is fed by a spring. That is what we did to keep that water nice and contained. We dug out a pond, so we have a pond there. We've always wanted to have beautiful gardens for folks to come and enjoy, because we fully recognize that this land is beautiful and special and spectacular, and we want to share that with folks who who want to come and visit us. So that has always been our dream. Well, we were wonderfully surprised last year when the folks at Proven Winners came to us and asked us if we would be interested in creating a Proven Winners signature garden here at Creekside. So that is what we are going to do. This is going to be an ongoing process. We will start that process really probably after kind of the mad rush of spring happens, because If you've been to a local garden center in the spring, you know how wonderfully busy it is. So the signature garden will we'll have an entrance through the shrub lot. So we'll have special entrance here. We'll have multiple entrances, but this is one. And then where the pergola is will also be like a main entrance. Obviously the pergola will get moved because you can't walk through the pergola. But over here where these display gardens are, we will continue to have display gardens, but they're going to have to get moved because this Proven Winner Signature Garden is really going to kind of encompass this area where you see these flower beds. And then beyond that, on the edges of the creek, out in the back, all around the pond, up underneath the trees, in the shade of the hill back there, that is where we will have kind of creekside display gardens that folks can come and check out and just experience God's beautiful creation and just enjoy some peacefulness and get inspired, right? And what can you do in your garden? If you're not familiar with what a Proven Winner Signature Garden is, basically it is a public garden that features a lot of Proven Winner plants. So there will be shrubs, there will be perennials, there will be annuals, there will be pieces in here that stay for years and years and years, and then there will be pieces that get swapped out every year, right? Like your annuals. So this will definitely be a very fun project. We are wrapping our minds around this whole process and trying to really figure out what design we want to have, because each signature garden is very unique in their own right. And we want to have a really nice, unique experience here at Creekside Nursery for the folks that come and visit us. So just know this is going to be a huge project. It's going to be a massive project. It is going to be a very fun project that we have, and our brains are swirling and whirling, getting all of the different components that need to happen to make this happen. So we expect, like I said, construction to begin probably early summer, and then it will move on from there. The big gardens in the back and all around, just like any botanical garden, any garden, heck, every year something else happens. You add in another layer, you add in another feature. So this will definitely be a years in the making, right? A garden is never really finished, is it? You're always adding and tweaking to it. So something that we're super excited about, Brenna found the bird feeder again. Sister does love some sunflower seeds, but we're very excited to start this project and work with all sorts of the growers and the different nurseries associated with Proven Winners and our friends at Proven Winners themselves. So we'll just keep you up to date on that. But that is about it for today. Like I said, it is a gorgeous blue sky here today. It is cool and crisp. I will not say cold because it's cool, shall we say that? This little North Carolina girl is nice and bundled up and having a fantastic, glad to see some sunshine. So as always, thanks so much for gardening with Creekside. Y'all have a fantastic day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.